Hey, I've just gotten married, Ashton. But I'm never going to invite an antisocial disgrace like you to my wedding. You weren't planning on coming, right? If you do, you'll have to pay for that crap. Huh? Why are you talking to me about this stuff? And I wasn't ever thinking of coming to your wedding, Bridget. I didn't even know you planned to get married, nor do I care that you are. So what is this about? Well, I've invited everyone to come to my wedding. Everyone and anyone that was in our class in high school. But when it comes to you, I think I'm going to pass. You're not coming, Miss Antisocial Freak. Well, if you're not inviting me, then why would I come? What kind of misunderstanding do you have yourself in here? What makes you think that I'd do anything to come to your wedding when you and I never got along together in school? Are you thinking that you're some kind of idol or maybe a god that I'd throw everything away for? Well, that'd be right. Everyone loves me after all. I respect you for having so much blind faith in your appearance, but to make sure that you're aware, I'm not a fan of yours. And that's why I have no reason to try and show up to your wedding. I have no idea what you're trying to say, so could you just shut up? Hold up, you're the one that came to me to talk. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go to your wedding, so you can relax. Sorry that you had to worry about me. Congrats on the marriage and have a great life. I don't want you to celebrate me at all, Ashton. You just saying that has made me feel sick to my stomach. I'm surprised you'd be willing to say that to me after I was considerate of you. But what's up with you acting as though I'm some sort of a plague? Well, when it comes to your looks, you only make those that glance at you nauseous and sick. And if something like you showed up at my wedding, everyone would be forced to run, right? I highly doubt anything like that would ever happen, but I'm so thankful that I never ended up looking as disgusting as you do. Because of that, I had all the men I could choose from and found the perfect man for me that I've married. Well, that's nice. Congrats. But don't think that I'm going to start bowing down to you because of your looks. What? Did you just call me cute? I didn't say anything like that. You're so far out of it right now that there's not even a point to this conversation anymore. Either way, I'm not coming to your wedding, so don't worry. A freak like you really wants to come that badly? Are you really that excited to cause everyone there to throw up? Stop that, you're not even listening to me. I'm kind of impressed that you were even able to carry what you thought of me from high school all the way to the present. But your habits of making fun of me have tired me the hell out. We've been away from each other for 15 years now, and yet you're still going on about my looks? Huh? It's been that long then? In my case, I'm forever 18 years old, so I don't care about the time. What the hell is up with you? You are so full of yourself that it's like talking to a mentally ill patient. Compared to me, you're way too positive about everything, and that's so gross. Anyway, for the third time now, I'm not coming to your wedding, so stop worrying. I don't even want to meet you anymore, and even if I do, it'll only be at a class reunion or something. You should be happy now to hear from the freak that she'll no longer talk to you, right? You must have something up your sleeve, you freak. What? No. I'm just trying to get you to stop making a fuss of me and leave. If I have to talk to you any longer than I already have, then it'd be a waste of my day, so I'm going now. Congrats on your marriage and all. Bradley, I'm sorry. I hadn't taken a real good look at the wedding invitation you gave me earlier and only just had the chance to sit down and look.
Okay. What are you thinking?
Is the woman you're marrying older than you? And a woman that lives in Glendale?
That's right. But what exactly are you getting at?
I see. I knew it. I think that your wife is a woman I know.
What? Are you sure about that? Do you think I can go and ask her?
No. I think I want to surprise her on the day of the wedding. You don't mind if I'm the one to announce you two on the day of the wedding?
Well, as long as you're okay with doing it.
Well, I do feel a little hesitant, but I think I'd be willing to do it for you.
Are you sure? Thank you so much. I look forward to how you plan on introducing the two of us at the wedding.
I'm really looking forward to how surprised your wife is going to be. She's a friend from far back in the day.
I really never thought that you would have been friends with her. Thank you again for taking on the introductions for us. I'm excited to see you on the day of the wedding.
You as well, and I'll be eagerly waiting for that day. Are you kidding me, Ashton? Why the hell are you here? I never thought you'd have the audacity to slap me in the face twice. Right now, both of my cheeks are terribly swollen. Well, that's what you get. What were you planning on doing here? I told you that you couldn't come to this wedding, didn't I? Dang it! Are you really willing to kick me out of the wedding now? I know that you and I haven't had the best times back in high school together, but never once did I think you'd be willing to slap me for it. Don't you think it's time you start to learn what it means to take things too far? Well, it's on you for thinking you could just invite yourself into my wedding like that, right? And after all the belittling I did to you, you still chose to come here? What's your reason for that? Does this mean you really have something deep against me? I don't have anything against you, but now you've changed that. Anybody would be pretty upset with someone after having their face slapped twice. Especially when the reason for getting slapped is because the assailant still has no clue what's going on. You say I have no clue? I have every clue what's going on here, and there is no misunderstanding between you and I. I'm upset because a mindless freak walked into my wedding. If I wasn't around to drop you like that, what would you have done? But I'm saying I didn't just walk into your wedding uninvited. Maybe before you start to complain about someone and assault them, you ask and listen to what's going on. No freak is ever allowed to be at my wedding. Especially the antisocial ones like you. So there really is no talking with you anymore. How far are you going to go with this whole misunderstanding, Bridget? Do you really want to be here today to ruin my wedding that badly? That's why I'm saying you pretty much trespassed into here. I told the front to not allow you in, and yet here you are. I can't believe you'd do something so petty. Petty? All right, I've had enough. I'm not letting some freak get away with coming into my wedding uninvited. After having your face slapped twice, are you finally able to understand that? I'm leaving, Bridget. Bye-bye! I'll do just as you've asked and leave, but the only one that'll have to be punished for this is the confused idiot of an idol. Confused idiot of an idol? Are you talking about me? Well, nobody else around here thinks that they're such big stuff and acts like a buffoon. And now that I've seen the worst of you, I am pissed and no longer want to hang around anymore. Have fun in hell, Bridget. Goodbye. Wait, what's going on here? What? Why were you supposed to be the one that introduced us today? They just called your name to come up and it got dead quiet when nobody started to walk up. Well, of course, everybody would be speechless when someone never shows up on stage. Did you never hear about any of this from your husband? Oh, wait, are you serious right now? But the name on here isn't yours. That's because I'm also married. What? Are you? I can just imagine how pale your face has gone now after realizing that I was supposed to introduce you both. Are things not starting to get a bit tense there right now after everyone realized I'm not around anymore? Things are... But I never expected things to turn out this way. Well, you never knew that I'm your husband's CEO and went ahead and slapped me twice really, really hard. That must have gotten a few bad looks, I'm sure. Are you freaking kidding me? Why are you, of all people, the CEO of my husband? Do coincidences like that actually happen? Well, when people say it's a small world, they aren't joking. I was also pretty surprised, but these are the facts. Sorry about that one. I just never thought that any of this could ever happen. I'm so sorry for kicking you out. So, do you think that you can come back here now? Huh? Why do you seem to be talking in your sleep right now? Huh? You told me to go home, so why would I end up coming back to you? My face and head hurt as well, so it's definitely not happening. What? Then who's going to give the introductions now? Canceling on me like that isn't going to be good for us. At the moment, the wedding is on pause because of you. If you don't come back here right now, this wedding won't happen. Well, whether it happens or not, it has nothing to do with me. You're the one that wanted me out of there in the first place, after all. I had planned on telling you everything, yet you chose not to listen to me and kicked me out. That's the truth, right? That's right, but I seriously never thought things would end up like this. What should I do now, Ashton? Please, can you come back here? Right now, I have no clue what to say to Bradley about what's happened. Well, he's your husband, so you should tell him the whole truth, right? But perhaps he already knows everything, so lying would only make it worse. Tell the truth about everything? What the hell am I supposed to tell him? You tell him that you chose to slap his CEO in the face twice and then told her to leave the wedding. I'm going to go to the hospital right now, just in case. The hospital? You only got slapped in the face, though. Aren't you being a bit too dramatic about this? Huh? Well, if you think that was nothing, why not just go and tell your husband about it then? But I'm sure that when your husband realizes what you've done, he is not going to be very happy with you. Crap! It looks like someone here really did see what happened between us two. And right now they're talking with my husband about it. If word keeps spreading, this wedding is going to be canceled. Well, that'll be too bad, won't it? What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you acting so calm? I don't care at all about your wedding, Bridget. This is all that you asked for when slapping me and tossing me out. And you knew long before that I had no intentions of even showing up to your wedding, yet you still tried to think that I forced my way in. All I did was show up here today with one job in mind, and that was to introduce the two of you at your wedding as one of my employees asked. But you happened to continue on in your state of confusion. Shouldn't you have at least talked to me first before assaulting me? Hold on a second. We're friends, right? You can forget about a simple old slap and come back here, right? If you can't do that for me, then how will we continue being good friends? Having my wedding canceled because of you would be the worst thing to ever happen to me. And my family would start to really question me. Whatever you're talking about right now is not something that I care about. I literally have nothing to do with you or whatever happens to you. Perhaps you forgot that the reason for all of this is because you kicked me out? On another note, I'll be filing a report with the police over this. What? A report with the police? What do you mean? Well, I was just assaulted by some stranger. And when something like that happens, there has to be repercussions for it. Wait, it was just a simple slap, Ashton. We used to do that all the time to you in high school, right? Well, back then I was just a teen and I didn't have the courage to bring it up with the teachers or my parents. But now I'm an adult and I'm not going to just sit here and let you get away with acting like a child. So I'm going to get myself a lawyer to talk with and we'll see if we can do anything else after handing in the report to the police. I'll make sure that you take responsibility for all of this, no matter how far I have to go. Why would you do that? We used to be friends with each other and everything and have known each other for the longest time. Well, it's been 15 years now, and yet you still think it's okay to harass me that hard? You have to become an adult like the rest of us. Ah, and I made sure to inform your husband about this as well. Huh? He texted me asking why I wasn't around. So I let him know what had happened, and that was all. Isn't that great? I just took a load off your back by helping you explain this to him. No, that's not good at all. Not one freaking bit. They're saying that the wedding is canceled. What the hell? Why did this have to happen to me? This is all your freaking fault, Ashton. Nope. It's your fault for choosing violence in the end, right? I'm heading to the hospital still, but the inside of my mouth is pretty gashed up. At this point, it's so swollen in there and bloody that I could never introduce you guys now. After having a talk with a lawyer, I'll make sure you pay for my hospital bills. What? You want me to pay? I'll make sure you not only pay me a settlement, but pay for whatever I need to have done to my face. And I don't want you to forget that I need to be healthy and ready at all times as I'm a CEO. But if Bradley happens to throw you away after what's happened, you'll become an unemployed 30-year-old woman. You think he'd do that? There's no way he'd want to leave me, right? He and I are perfect together. Well, whatever happens there also has nothing to do with me. But he has told me that he canceled the wedding and will apologize for everything. I'm not sure where you're hiding at the moment, but Bradley's very pissed off, and so I think it's best you go talk to him. Ashton, I'm really sorry. I'll apologize for hitting you in the face twice. So can you please come and help me in any way? I'm being absolutely serious when I say I never wanted any of this to happen. So please, I made sure to put my all into becoming married to Bradley, and I was finally so happy to make it to my wedding day with him. I see. Well, it sucks that you weren't able to achieve what all you had in mind, but sometimes that happens, right? At least you had half a wedding. That seems like a job well done to me. But if you're at least able to make it out of this with your marriage intact, then you should be more than grateful. In the end, the wedding was officially canceled, and Bradley was very furious with Bridget. All of the family was pissed as well, and their marriage with one another fell apart quickly after that. Both Bridget's parents had had enough of her as well and kicked her out of their family. And since she no longer had a place to go, had to hide in a homeless shelter. And what made things worse for her was when my lawyer contacted her and explained the next situation. He said that it was brave of her to try and ask Brady to talk to me about stopping the whole court case, but that we would ultimately go forward with it. She then tried to confront me about how I was her friend while crying her eyes out, but I had no need for that and ignored her. I finished off by asking that she pay the settlement and then blocked her. Whatever happens to her after that is unknown to me and a lot of other people, but I'm sure it's not pretty.
Hello, this is Bob, Xavier's father. Just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to meeting you tomorrow.
Hello, Bob. I was hoping to say all of this in person, but I'm Andrea, and it's very nice to meet you. I have to say that I wasn't expecting to hear from you, so thank you for reaching out to me. I've heard so much about you from Xavier.
Well, the reason that I'm reaching out to you like this in the first place is because I have some questions for you.
Some questions? Well, what kind of things were you wanting to ask? I'll answer them as best I can.
Very well then. My first question is, just what is it that attracts you to my son?
You want to know what it is that I see in Xavier?
Well, I'm sure that it has nothing to do with the rich family he comes from, right? And I'm certain that it also is completely separate from the fact that he's in line to take over the family business too, correct? Basically, I want to know that you're not just dating my son because of who he comes from and what he's in line to be.
Oh, I understand. No, sir, nothing like that is going on at all. In fact, until recently, I didn't even know that Xavier was in line to take over the company at all. But even after finding out about it, it didn't change the way I feel about him at all, so please don't worry about that.
I just hope that you can understand why I might be concerned about this. Coming from as much wealth as we do, there are lots of potential suitors out there that would marry into this family just for access to that power.
I completely understand why that might be something to worry about in your case. But if you're concerned about me marrying your son for the money, then I only hope my words are enough to make you think otherwise.
That remains to be seen, young lady.
I understand. But hopefully meeting tomorrow in person will help lay some of those worries to rest. Then you can make your judgment from there.
Well, we are already scheduled to meet tomorrow. I just hope that you don't let me down. You and my son will not be getting married without my say-so. I certainly hope that you understand that already.
I understand that completely, and again, I'm not marrying Xavier for any kind of ambitious reasons. So I want to assure you that you have nothing to worry about there. I just hope you realize all of this tomorrow.
So, tomorrow you're finally going to meet your fiancé's family, right? How are you feeling? Are you nervous or excited? Both?
Hey, Mac. Thanks for always checking in on me. It really does mean a lot.
Ha ha ha. I take that response to mean that someone must be a little nervous, right?
I actually just finished talking with Xavier's dad for a bit. I had no idea that his family would take this thing so seriously.
Well, it is their son getting married. Or do you mean take it seriously in another way?
Well, I know that Xavier's family run a business and all, but I feel like I'm getting ready for a job interview rather than just meeting my future in-laws. It isn't like I don't get where they're coming from, but I just wish his dad was a little less intense about all of this.
Right, yeah, I was wondering about that. I looked into them a bit and they're quite new to having money, so I'm sure they're extra guarded about who they let in.
Oh, don't you go justifying all of this for them now, too. That's just making me feel more pressure about all of this.
I'm sorry, but it seems like there is a bit of pressure on you already. I mean, do you think they're going to ask about your family? I just hope that once they understand who your dad is, that this solves everything.
I certainly hope so, but more than that, I want them to like me for who I am. I don't want to be relying on my dad for everything, especially not who I can marry.
I know what you mean, but to people like Xavier's dad, I bet these kinds of things are as much business as they are personal.
Well, you're probably right about that, to be honest.
Well, let me know if anything happens. Just don't forget that you do have people in your corner who want to be there for you.
Thanks a lot, Mac. That is really nice to hear. For now, just keep your fingers crossed that everything goes well for me tomorrow. Mac, are you there? Please, I need your help right now.
Wow, Andrea, is everything okay? Can you talk on the phone right now? What's the matter?
I'm on my way to the hospital right now. I want you to meet me there, and I want you to represent me as my lawyer.
Wait, what? Are you serious? Okay, I'll head your way.
I'll send you the address for the hospital and my room number soon.
I knew it. I knew that you were poor this whole time. And yet you had the nerve to try and get near my son? Just who do you think you are, huh? Did you really think I would let you waltz into this family?
Do you have any idea what it is that you've just done?
What are you talking about?
I mean, you do realize that you assaulted me, right? You invited me over to meet you as your son's fiancé, and then you hit me right in the face?
And just what else was I supposed to do when I found out that you were raised by a single father? Did you think that I was just going to not hit you in the face for that? Did you think I was just going to hand over Xavier to you? No, I knew that I would have to break up your marriage right then.
I still can't believe it. I've never seen anyone just act out the way that you did. If you just wanted Xavier and I to not get married, you should have said something. You didn't need to hit me.
And just why do you think you deserve a say in any of this? You're nobody who tried to get out of poverty the easy way by marrying into money. I know that you were only ever with my son because of who his family is. Did you really think that I would be so stupid as to not realize that?
If you don't like me, that's fine. And if you don't want me to marry your son, that's fine too.
And just what was your dad thinking? He's a bit crazy too, isn't he?
What are you talking about?
I mean, shouldn't he have tried to talk you out of this? You would think that at least your dad would be smart enough to know his place.
And just why would my father try and talk me out of marrying your son?
If your dad couldn't go to the bare minimum of trying to talk sense into his daughter, then I think I'm starting to get a really clear picture of just how stupid the both of you are.
So punching me in the face wasn't enough? You're still going to run your mouth and talk bad about my father? I'm sorry, but that just makes me angry.
Do you think I care at all about how some poor little nobody feels about what I do? I'm rich. I run my own business. Pissing little peons like you off is all just part of my job.
Oh, yes. I'm sure that you and I live in completely different worlds, the likes of which I could never understand. And I guess living in that world led you to act in ways that only make sense to you. But I'm afraid that you are going to regret this, Bob.
And just what is some girl raised by a poor single father going to be able to do to me? I already hit you in the face, so why can't you just get out of here?
Maybe you don't know this, but my father is an important real estate mogul.
Yeah, right. In your dreams.
You don't have to believe me if you don't want, but I've already told my dad all about what happened between us. Your company doesn't have much longer now.
Oh, really? You're still going to try and pretend like I believe this little lie of yours? You and your father are both nobodies who can do nothing to affect me in the slightest.
And just what do you have against people who were raised by single parents anyway, huh? My mother died when I was very little, and I know that my dad poured his heart and soul into raising me right. In fact, I think that my father is a much better man than you could ever hope to be.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
You might think that I'm poor just because I only had one parent. But that parent started his own business, watched it grow, and is now one of the most powerful real estate people in the state. Surely you've heard of Carl Reeves, right? Well, he's my father, and if I'm not mistaken, one of your most important clients.
Enough already. This joke wasn't funny the first time, but now I'm getting sick of it. You and Carl Reeves are not related, and it's astounding to me that you think I would ever fall for that. In fact, I want to know just how you even knew we're business partners in the first place. You must have done your homework, huh?
And just what would I have to gain from lying to you about this? I've already agreed to break up with your son when I thought we would be getting married.
So then, you're telling the truth about all this?
That's right. And my father is furious with you. That's why he's selling all the stock of your company that he owns. You're about to be facing bankruptcy, and it is all your fault. This is what you get for putting people down when you know nothing about them. You don't know anything at all about how my dad raised me.
Wait, hold on just a minute. You're really being serious with all this? You're really Carl's daughter?
And just why is that so hard to believe, huh? You seriously need to get over yourself and learn not to judge based on appearance. I was so close to marrying your son, and it would have brought your and my father's company closer together. But now none of that is happening. It was too easy for my father to cancel his contracts with a tiny company like yours. He has 1,000 other companies who would all love to take your place. I told you not to worry about me being after your family's money, and now you know why. My family always had way more money than yours ever did.
Wait, no, this can't be happening. Well, if what you're telling me is true, then I'm so sorry for the way I acted. But it's clear now that this was all just one big misunderstanding. I hope you can forgive me.
Oh, just shut up. It is way too late for any of that now. You brought all of this on yourself, and there is no way out of it. I told you that I would make you pay for this.
Wait, no, please, come on. It was just an honest mistake, really. I had no idea that there were single parents who were rich too. I should have looked more into you. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad you didn't. Thanks to that, I know exactly the kind of person that you are, and I feel glad that I got out when I did. In fact, if you knew who I really was, you probably would have been eager to have your son marry me so that you could have my family's money.
But, please, you have to forgive me. I'll even let you marry Xavier.
Do you really think that's what I want now?
What do you mean?
I mean that I don't want to marry your son any more than I want to keep talking to you. Besides, the engagement has already been called off. And if you think that anyone, including me, is going to want me to stay with the man whose father punched me in the face, you've got another thing coming. Maybe next time you should do a little homework before you act out like that. But that's all that I really have to say to you now.
Please, no! I made a mistake and I'm really sorry for it. I didn't mean for any of this to happen at all. Can't we just go back to the way things were?
That's not going to happen. I am never going to give Xavier a second chance again. And I already have a close friend of mine who's a lawyer looking into suing you for assaulting me.
Wait, no. You can't be serious.
Oh, I am. And soon your company and your life will both come crumbling down around you.
But you can't do all of this. Please, you have to forgive me. I'm begging you here.
And I am telling you that it's way too late for any of this. You hit me in the face and sent me to the hospital. I'm here getting looked at right now, in fact.
But I didn't even hit you that hard. Surely you're just over-exaggerating.
We'll see who's over-exaggerating in court now, won't we? But I'm sure any jury is just so eager to pardon a man who punched a lady in the face. You're through, you pathetic pig. Even Xavier tried coming to me to apologize and said that he never wanted to talk to you again.
Wait, why would he say something like that? Doesn't he know I was just trying to protect the family?
To him, you were doing nothing but finding excuses for your own violent behavior.
But then I'll have nothing. No business, no money, no family. What am I supposed to do?
You did this to yourself, Bob. You hit me in the face to try and prove a point, but you were never going to get away with this. Even if I wasn't rich, thanks to my dad, you're still not above the law, and you can't just assault people for being poor.
But that doesn't mean you have to sue me. I learned my lesson, and it'll never, ever, ever happen again. Isn't that enough for you?
I'm afraid it won't be enough until I see everything that made you into the person who thought you could treat other people like that, stripped away from you. You need to remember what it's like to be one of the common people, and I will see that that happens. See you in court, Bob. In the end, Andrea's father only needed to make a couple of phone calls and the fate of Bob's company was sealed. It had declared bankruptcy within the week with no chance of recovery. Bob was left by his wife and Xavier was still refusing to talk to him. When Bob had his day in court, he had it all alone. After the trial was done, my dad swooped in and bought Bob's defunct business, breathing new life into it and saving it from closing down. My dad installed himself as the head of the company as his own way of getting back at Bob. Although it's fair to say that Bob brought all of this upon himself and has no one to blame but himself. Madeline, hey, I'm coming over to visit. I've got to say hi to your mom and dad. You're at home too, right? Yeah, I'm home, but my brother isn't here right now. Why did you suddenly decide to come and visit? Because the wedding's coming up and I wanted to say hi. I want to say hi, have dinner, and maybe spend some time with you all. I want to say hi to you, too. Aren't I sweet? Oh, I can't wait to get married. I'm going to resign and become a housewife. Oh, you must be so jealous. I feel so bad for people that aren't married. Thanks to Cooper, my life is so great. Good for you. I'm glad that you and my brother are so happy together, but I don't understand why you think that I'm jealous. Because you're ugly, and you've got no chance of getting married. You'll never be able to become a housewife like me. Do you want to know why? It's because nobody will want you as a housewife. Natalie, have you been drinking? No, of course I'm not drinking. I'm not drunk, what? I just had a little sip of tequila, that's all. I thought so. You're usually loud, but you're not always this loud. Even you would think twice before saying something so rude, and you must have been drinking quite a lot. What? Rude? Me? No way. I haven't said anything rude. I just told the truth. You can't blame me for saying something that everyone is thinking. Yeah, all right. Well, if you're drunk, you should go home and rest instead of coming over here and spreading more of your truth. There's no reason for you to come and visit this evening, so just stay at home. If anything, you'll just cause more trouble if you come over here drunk and end up making a fuss or being sick or having to spend the night. It's best that you don't come. No, I'm going to. I've got to talk to you about something very important. I've got to make something very clear. Huh? What on earth are you talking about? I bet it's not even that important. I've got to tell you how you can find someone who will marry you or you'll be alone for the rest of your life. I'll teach you. Yeah, no thanks. I don't need your advice. I'm doing fine without it. Besides, how do you even plan on getting here when you're that drunk? There aren't any buses running in the local area tonight, and you're going to regret spending money on a taxi in the morning. Don't worry about that. I can get there without a bus or taxi. Wait a minute. You're not planning on driving here, are you? Natalie, driving under the influence is a crime. It's way too dangerous. Natalie, are you listening to me? Stay at home.
Hey, have you seen Natalie? She said that she was going to go visit you and left.
Yeah, I saw her, and now I'm in the hospital.
What? What's going on?
I'm just glad that I'm still alive. I've been in an accident.
What? Are you okay? Were you hit by a car?
Yeah. If you want to know the details, maybe you should ask your fiancé.
My fiance? What? You mean Natalie did this?
Yeah, she did.
What? You were in an accident because of Natalie? I don't understand, Mads. What happened?
That's why I'm telling you to go ask Natalie yourself. I don't know where she went after she hit me with her car, but I bet she's gone running back to your place. I think it's best that you catch her before she harms anyone else and find out what the hell is wrong with her.
I just got a message from Natalie's parents. They said that she's at their house, sleeping.
Seriously? I'm lying in a hospital bed attached to a morphine drip and she suddenly turned into Sleeping Beauty? You're kidding, right?
Mads, I really don't understand what's going on. So I'm going to go to Natalie's parents' house and try to find out what I can. Message me the name and address of the hospital you're at, and I'll be there as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm sorry for getting angry with you. I'm really tired, so you don't have to come tonight. I'm going to sleep, so if you want to visit, can you make it tomorrow? Hey, I'm really sorry about yesterday. I was so tipsy, I don't even remember half of what happened. Can you believe it? Were you okay after that? Last night was so crazy. What are you laughing about? This is serious. I broke my arm because of you. Really? Oh my God. But you're lucky you're still alive. What? I was worried it might be worse and that things would get a little awkward before the wedding, but if it's just a couple of broken bones, then there's nothing for me to worry about. It's already serious. Because of you, I have to stay in the hospital for over a week. I won't be able to go to work during that time. Oh, don't be so negative. You should be happy that it was just a broken arm. It could have been so much worse. Don't you understand that you're the one to blame? You were drunk driving and hit me with your car. You're the last person that's allowed to tell me that I should be positive about this injury and that I should be thankful that I didn't die. I can't believe your attitude. You have no right to speak to me like that. Yeah, you're mad. I get it. My parents are on their way to the hospital to see you. Your parents? What for? I'm not interested in seeing them. Well, you'll have to, whether you like it or not. They're going to get you to sign a contract promising that you won't report any of this to the police. A what? A contract? To get me to shut up? Yeah, it's going to be a problem if you tell the police what happened, so you've got to promise to keep it a secret. You don't have any choice, Madeline. I'm your brother's fiancé, and my parents are going to be his parents soon. You've got to do as we say. Wow, so you're going to put in the effort to cover up what you've done, but you're not even going to try and make things right? By saying a few magic words? By coming to see me in the hospital and see how I'm doing? Instead, you're sending your parents to do your dirty work? You should be apologizing to me. I think that's what normal people usually do when they hurt someone. Are you actually being serious right now? This isn't funny. You're not being cute. I've actually sustained serious injuries after being run over by you, and you're playing dumb about the responsibility you have to me? All right, so I hit you with my car. I accept responsibility. But don't report this to the police. We're going to be family soon. Don't do anything that's going to ruin the atmosphere on the wedding day, and that might make things awkward for us afterwards. Don't you think that's a little too convenient? I'm a victim here. I should report you, but you're trying to make me out as the bad guy if I do? I feel like crap. I can't go to work. I'm going to have to pay these medical bills. What else do you want from me? Shouldn't you at least apologize sincerely? I think that's the first thing you should be doing. But apparently you lack all common sense. You lack any sense of sympathy for other people. I don't know what I should be apologizing for. It's not a big deal. It's not like I meant to hit you. I was drunk. You can't blame me for that. You just happened to get in the way of my car. That's life. Sometimes it does things like that. If I wasn't drunk, I wouldn't have hit you. So it's not my fault, it's the alcohol. Why don't you understand that you shouldn't have been driving when you were drunk? You say it's the alcohol's fault? I told you not to come here. You risked the lives of every pedestrian that was walking on the street while you were driving in your car, drunk. I am definitely lucky to be alive, but you could have killed me. Oh, don't lecture me. I know that it's illegal to drink and drive, but I'm lucky too. You're lucky? What? How? I'm lucky that it was you that I hit with the car and not anyone else. If I hit a complete stranger, I would have been in a lot of trouble. You're pretty much family, so I can get away with it. Excuse me? We are not family. We are complete strangers. No, don't say that. We're going to be family. Cooper and I are getting married, remember? I'm glad that it was my little sister-in-law that got hurt and not someone else. But I'm not happy about this at all. But now I know what your true colors are. I understand that you don't regret anything you did and that you don't feel any remorse. I heard that you sent my parents away. Who do you think you are? Why would you do that? They went all the way to visit you and you refused to talk to them properly. I sent them home because I didn't want to see them. They were saying the exact same things that you were saying, about how I was lucky that it was just a broken arm and that I shouldn't say anything to the police about who was in the car. They were being just as ridiculous and selfish as you were. What? You're saying that I'm being selfish? We're family. You should be more willing to keep quiet about what happened. My parents only went to make sure that you would. Yeah, they said that. They told me that we're going to be family, so I shouldn't do anything that will cause trouble for you and Cooper. Good, you understand. I'm really lucky that it was you that I hit and not someone else. We are going to be family, so don't do anything stupid. Oh, that's a shame. You're 5 minutes too late. What? Did you really think that I would just nod my head and follow your orders? You pissed me off, Natalie. You don't seem like you're going to say sorry anytime soon. Not only that, your parents came and ordered me and my family to not go to the police and to settle this over discussions. I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree after all. If your parents are like that, no wonder you turned out like this. Excuse me? You're being rude. You can't talk to your older sister like that. You're not my older sister. You're not married to my brother yet, and I'm obviously upset by what's happened. I'm not just upset, I'm furious, and I'm going to send you to hell for what you've done. What? You're going to send me to hell? Don't you think you're overreacting? What do you think you can do to me? I filed a report to the police. You're finished, Natalie. Huh? You filed a report? Are you crazy? You sold me out to the police even though we're family? What have you done? Like I told you, we're not family. And what have you done? That's my line. I can't believe you actually thought that you would get away with this. I did the right thing and reported what you did so that the police can take measures to make sure it never happens again. I'm going to get the compensation I'm owed, Natalie. You better prepare yourself. Prepare myself? What are you talking about? Are you threatening me? No, I'm going to take you to court. I know a great lawyer and he's going to take my case. He'll make sure you wish you never did anything so stupid. So what if you know a lawyer? Why should I be scared of you? He's going to help me crush you and your family and make you apologize for what you did to me. I'm going to tell the court that you were threatening me and trying to intimidate me out of going to the police, too. What? You can't do that. I wasn't threatening you. What are you even talking about? Do you really think that you can win this court case? I haven't done anything to warrant having to go to court. It's not that hard to understand. You've done something unforgivable and you're going to pay for it because you won't say sorry. Even my brother's saying that he's going to call off the wedding because he doesn't want to marry you now that he knows what you've done. What? Your brother? You mean Cooper doesn't want to marry me anymore? I don't have any other brothers. What did you say to him? You've turned him against me, even though I haven't done anything to deserve it. Haven't you gotten any messages from him yet? He told me that he was going to cancel the engagement just a while ago. He was saying that he can't be family with someone who thinks it's okay to treat me the way you did. He doesn't want to spend the rest of his life with someone like you. Why? I thought he loved me. What did I do to make him hate me? I don't deserve this. You did all of this. You made him hate me. We just had an accident, that's all. What's the big deal? You only broke an arm. What else did you say to him? Just an accident? That's all? I think that's the reason why he doesn't want to be with you. You caused injury to someone and you can't even apologize or acknowledge the pain and trouble you've caused. There is something seriously wrong with you if you think that's okay. If you lack the sympathy to even feel bad for what you did, then why would he want to be with someone who hurt his little sister? I'm surprised you managed to hide that from him so well up until now, but now he knows. It's over. He can't cancel the wedding. It's impossible. Even you should know that it's too late. The wedding's supposed to be next weekend. If he cancels now, only God knows how big a fee he'll have to pay. Would he really rather pay that fee than be with me? He can't do that. It's not impossible if he really doesn't want to marry you. You can't force him to marry you when he's clearly lost interest. He's decided that he can't go through with the marriage, so you'll just have to accept his decision. You can argue about it all you like, but I don't think anyone will blame him for not wanting to be with you. Not after they hear about you hitting me with your car while you were drunk and not even saying sorry. He was already shocked enough about that, but when your parents came into my hospital room and started raving about me keeping my mouth shut, that really put him off. I think it's only a matter of course that this is what you get. He what? He was put off? Yeah, he was repelled. Literally, like two north and north magnets put together. I think anyone would rethink having any kind of relationship with you after what you did. It's incredible that your parents would actually defend your actions instead of try and set you on the right course. And you seriously thought that I would automatically forgive you for what happened with no apology at all? Just because we were about to become family? You have got to be kidding. You even had the nerve to say directly to me that you were glad that it was me you hit and not a stranger. What is wrong with you? In what world is that okay? Wait, all right, I understand. You want me to say sorry, right? Then I'll say sorry. If that's all it takes for you to forgive me, then fine. I'll apologize as much as you like. I'm sorry about what happened last night. I'm sorry it happened. I didn't mean for it to turn out like that. And I was drunk, so it's not really my fault, but yeah, I'm sorry. I apologized, so don't report me to the police, okay? It is way too late for that. And you can't go around putting conditions on your apologies. If you say sorry, you have to mean it. You can't expect me to forgive you just because you said sorry, and you certainly can't expect me to do something in exchange for it. Please, Madeline, I want to marry Cooper. I can't live without him. Please don't do this. You're breaking us up. Is that all you have to say? So you still don't accept responsibility for what you've done and the effect it's had on your relationship with my brother? That's not me. That's all a result of your own selfish behavior. You were saying that we'll become family when you marry my brother, but it's clear to all of us now that you're not good enough for him. You proved it to us. But now we're not going to accept you into our family, so give up on Cooper. Wait, Madeline! You've got to talk to him. I want to get married. You've got to convince him that he's making a mistake. We belong together. I want to be part of your family. I want to be your big sister. I want us to have fun together. I'm sorry, but you're creeping me out. I don't want to be family with you, and I don't think we can have fun together. Cooper just sent me a message. He says that he's not going to marry me. He said that he wants to meet up and talk about the cancellation and stuff. He's not going to change his mind no matter what I say to him. But I think that he'll listen to you, so you've got to talk to him for me. Tell him that there's been a misunderstanding and that we're actually really close. You just have to say that, and I think that he'll listen to me. What the? A misunderstanding? Did you really just say that to me? There's no misunderstanding. You hit me with a car. I broke my arm. You didn't apologize. It's really simple. I told him the truth, and he made his own decision based off of that information. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore, and my brother and my parents are furious, so I'm ending the conversation. From now on, you'll have to make contact with me through my lawyer. He'll be calling you later, and I think that the police will be dropping by to question you too. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have to go that far. That's too much. It's not fair. I'm your brother's fiancé. Can't you be a little more compassionate? You used to be his fiancé, not anymore. And why should I show you compassion when you didn't show me any after the accident? Even though I broke my arm and was in a lot of pain, you really are full of crap. You're just a stranger now, so I can happily report you to the police for the reckless driving you were doing while under the influence. You need to pay for your time for that, so you won't ever make that mistake ever again. Family or not, that's something that should never be forgiven, especially if it could risk someone's life. You don't have to say that much. But I really am sorry. I feel really bad for what happened. I mean it. I promise. I just didn't say sorry because I thought it would be my loss if I did. I really regret what I did now, from the bottom of my heart. My brother says that he doesn't want to have anything to do with you and that he doesn't want you contacting him anymore. I hope that's helped you to understand how serious this is, but there's no point begging me for forgiveness now. You're not going to get anything back. I can imagine that your employers will find out about the trouble you've been in with the police and you'll most definitely lose your job. Wait, you already resigned because you thought that you could relax and spend the rest of your life without having to work and use my brother for everything. It's a shame that you can't be a housewife anymore. It was your dream, wasn't it? It's all your fault! No, it's because of your inability to be a decent person. Do you remember saying that I can't get married because I'm too ugly? Well, I'm not one to brag, but I'm engaged. What? Since when? My fiancé's a lawyer. You'll meet him when we go to court. What? That's why you're finished. He's going to fight for me until we win the case. Together. You've been looking down on me ever since Cooper introduced you to us as his girlfriend, but I'm going to get the last laugh. You're going to have to live an unfortunate life from now on. It's a shame that you can't be a housewife. And it's a shame that you won't be a part of our family. Too bad I sent that police report. In the end, Natalie was completely rejected by Cooper, and he canceled the wedding arrangements and let the guests know that there would be no ceremony. Natalie panicked and kept on begging Cooper for them to talk and to get back together, but he completely ignored her and blocked her on social media. Madeline and her family filed a police report, and Natalie's requests for the matter to be dealt with between the two families was refused. The story ended up being shared online and attracted enough attention that it made the news. Natalie's real name was posted all over articles online, and they had no choice but to move before someone found out where she and her parents lived. It really looks like her life is over. Luckily for Madeline, her injuries weren't so serious, and she was able to leave the hospital a month later and married her fiancé. Natalie lost her fiancé and damaged her own reputation because of her lack of good judgment. Apparently, she's having a hard time trying to figure out how to navigate her problems and get her life back on track. Brooke, you're not seriously still working, are you? Why don't you do the responsible thing here for once and quit your job? Then I can finally get some grandchildren out of you and my son. Would you hurry up, because I want some grandchildren before I eventually die. Along with my Peter, you need to contribute to the housework. Again, with this conversation, Sandra, you know that I have nothing to say on the matter. I don't plan on quitting my job anytime soon, so I'm sorry if that doesn't fit into your way of living. There's nothing wrong with me having a career. Now hold on just a minute there, Brooke. Do you really think this is the end of it for me? I'm sorry, what are you trying to say here? I'm making such an effort to contact you, and you're just going to let it all go and not hear me out? Do you have any sort of common sense in that brain of yours? I guess you don't, since you're always out of the house working in the first place despite being a wife to my son. This makes me completely doubt your humanity and what you should be doing for the family, which is making one. Seriously, Sandra, don't you think that you're being too old-fashioned? Whatever do you mean by that? In this day and age, it's a very normal thing for both the husband and wife to be working and sharing the housework. The things we do in this house are a little bit more unique, but if you're going to keep judging us for it, then can you just stay out of our way? We are working hard and earning money, so please don't complain about our situation.
You can't say things like that to me. I'm your mother-in-law, and my opinion matters when it comes to this family. You really do have a limit to your common sense. Surely I can get rid of you just like that if you intend on speaking to me like you have, right?
Please don't threaten me with those strange and scary comments. It's not going to do anyone any good. What do you even mean by getting rid of me?
I mean that we don't need you in this family, and I can throw you out like garbage. Are you a non-burnable piece of waste, or would you prefer being burnt to a crisp?
No. Would you quit it with your horrible jokes? They're not funny and, frankly, a crazy thing to say, Sandra.
Can you blame me? You make me so angry. You'd be angry too if your darling son had a wife who was literally trash. You'll understand how I feel when you have your own children.
Oh, really? Is that so? Even though I've married your son and would want to have children someday, you still won't keep your nose out of our business? I just want to live a quiet life, Sandra.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means what I say it means. I think it's a statement you don't need to read into very hard to understand. I'm going to leave the conversation at that, and if you want to voice your opinion, then please talk to your son about it. Since anything I try to say is just going to cause more trouble than it's worth.
Isn't my son so tired from all the work he's doing? Have you given that any consideration at all?
His work is not as strenuous as mine, so he's not as tired as I am.
You seriously have a problem with not listening to what people are saying, don't you? I can't deal with this crap right now. I'm so angry. Would you please think about what I said for a bit and put it into action?
Okay, Sandra, I understand your request, but if there's anything else, please take it up with your son. On that note, I'll leave you to it. Why have you not properly explained to your mother about our situation yet?
Brooke? What about?
I'm talking about our jobs, Peter. She's still indicating to me that she doesn't understand that we're both working. How much more can I explain what it is to her, and what would you be if I didn't work? You know that we wouldn't be able to live if I didn't work, right?
Brooke, can you be quiet for a second, please? There's no need to go out of your way to explain all that with my mother, okay? We're a happy married couple.
Happy? Ha ha. Is that some sort of a joke? I think I feel more stressed out than anything. If you can't earn your own money, then why don't you just do housework?
Is it okay for you to say that to me?
Huh? What do you mean? If I didn't tell you, who do I tell it to? Ha ha. I'm talking to you because it's about you, Peter.
Yeah, I'm your husband after all. If you say that sort of thing to me, wouldn't that hurt my mother's feelings?
Well, can you please try to understand the situation you're in and think about what you should do in a calm manner? I can no longer go along with this charade anymore, so please solve this dilemma immediately.
Okay, could you at least make dinner? It would really help since I've been trying to eat at home more these days than at the office.
I usually do make dinner when I finish work early. Isn't it a normal thing to make dinner for yourself if you're going to be late? Or rather, I make my part of the meal. You do realize you're not doing anything else right now?
Are you asking them to make it then? Are you serious?
Can you please try and make food tomorrow? You've been giving a lot of unnecessary stress over this. Is it okay if you could do that much at least, please?
All right. It's just such a hassle, though. I'll do it this one time since all of this can't be helped at the present. This time is an exception.
What are you even saying? Also, go to the unemployment office, too.
Have you both decided when you're getting a divorce?
Excuse me? What's brought this on all of a sudden?
You made my son the breadwinner, and you're making him do the housework as well. You know for a long time I haven't liked you at all. But knowing what you were like with my son, I absolutely loathe you.
Okay, I'm confused. What has housework got to do with you loathing me? What are you so mad about, Sandra?
Look, I've decided that you need to get a divorce from each other. If you don't mind getting out of our lives now, that would be great. It's only natural to find a man and get married, I understand that, but you lack so much common sense, it's not even funny. What game are you playing here, Brooke?
Sandra, do you really think forcing your old school ideas onto me is going to work? By housework, do you mean tonight's dinner?
Yes, that's right. My son has a wife who can do that now. He shouldn't have to. Don't you realize that you're someone's wife now? Don't you have to do what you're meant to as a loyal wife?
What the heck are you trying to say, Sandra?
I'm obviously not getting through to you, so I filed the divorce papers myself.
You can't be serious.
Oh, I'm dead serious. I'm so glad that I was able to file them for you. I made a divorce paper up for you both when you got married in case there was a serious breakdown in the marriage.
When I think of it, I thought there was something weird with our legal documents. You did this and kept it from us?
Now you're nothing but strangers to one another. Oh, I'm so relieved. My son has gotten a divorce from his garbage of a wife.
Is that all you have to say? I really didn't think that you would go that far. As you would expect, I am quite surprised.
If you make my son do all the housework as an excuse for you both working, and so you don't have to, then you're not fit to be a wife. I feel so sorry for my son, but if he has a useless wife, then she should divorce him and leave.
Oh, I see. You really are an expert.
Oh, I am all right. I never want to see your face around these parts ever again.
This has all been a complete misunderstanding on your part, and in turn made us get divorced. But of course, that's something you do, Sandra. I will no longer go against your expectations.
Anything more you're wanting to say to me, Brooke? You've completely failed as a wife since you're making your own husband cook for you.
You know you're doing me a disservice with blaming me for your prehistoric ideologies. I owe you my gratitude for divorcing me from your son. Well then, I will do as you wish and get a divorce, but I think that you'll regret doing this a lot.
Regret it? I highly doubt it. It would be useless to have a wife like you around. When are you gonna erase yourself from our lives?
Didn't I already tell you that it's okay? Your wish of me divorcing Peter has been granted, but can I just say one more thing? We worked well as a couple. Since Peter's father died, we've been thinking about how you would cope. We were planning on gifting you a 2-family-sized house.
What? You were?
Yes, but I can't help but tell you now what we wanted to do for you. It's no use now, even if you try to reconcile with me. We thought about you a lot, and we were going to put our plan into action. It ended up being a waste of time and effort, and now I am the only one who's working in the family, so...
What the heck are you talking about, Brooke? I don't understand this at all.
I said that I can't tell you, Sandra. It has to be Peter that tells you what's actually going on.
What does he have to tell me? What happened? What have you done to my son?
I didn't want to tell you since it's Peter's story, but he got made redundant about 6 months ago.
What? He lost his job?
Yep, and he's been unemployed ever since. If I were to quit my job like you told me to do, we couldn't afford the rent for our place.
Hold up. So you're telling me that Peter has been unemployed for quite a while now?
That's what I'm saying, Sandra. Aren't you paying attention? That's why I'm the one who's working all the time. Peter doesn't have a job, and he hardly does any housework either, so I end up being super exhausted every day.
I'm relieved that you filed a divorce for us. Thank you so much for that.
What? You're thanking me? But... So I'll be leaving him then. However, the place we're in is a rental, and I'm the one who parts out for the rent, so I think it would be impossible for Peter to continue living there without an income. I think you'll have to withdraw some money for him to live there, or he can go back to living with you, so you'll need to take care of him. This has got nothing to do with me anymore.
Oh, wait, Brooke, let's talk about this in more detail, okay?
What else is there to talk about? I'm already done with the talking and have nothing else to say. Do you have something to add?
What's going on with the 2-family-sized house that you mentioned?
What do you want to know about it?
Well, you were building a 2-family house for us. Whatever will I do with it?
Oh, no way, Sandra. We're divorced now, right? So, of course, we've decided to not go ahead with the 2-family house, all right?
Excuse me, why the heck not?
Why would I, Sandra? Why would I build a house like that for my now ex-mother-in-law when we're divorced?
Your son was more or less fired from his job because he couldn't work properly, so it seems like your son can't build the house after all. So there really is no two-family house for me at all? You should have told me about the house before. I wouldn't have filed the divorce papers. At some point, I wanted to get a divorce as well, so there was no point telling you. I still had some feelings for him, but Peter didn't like that. I wasn't quite ready then, but I am now. You're the one that wanted a divorce, and not Peter? What is it that you're getting from the conversation that we've had so far, Sandra? I have been the one working hard and earning, and I'm done, so I wanted out of this marriage. But thanks to you, I was able to get a divorce, and I am so grateful for that. You'll end up taking care of your unemployed son who's returned home to you. Do your best, Sandra. Brooke, wait. But I don't have the two-family-sized house. You're handing my son back to me? That's correct. I haven't heard of this from my son, though. Why would you do something like this? Shouldn't you have explained this to me properly beforehand? You need to be held accountable for all of this. How dare you not explain this to me, Brooke? I don't get what you're saying, Sandra. How many times do you think I told your son to tell you about what's going on? By the way, I'm the one that kept telling him to talk to his own mother. But the reason why I didn't do anything was because it was a problem between the two of you. Do you get what I'm saying? He didn't know how to even make food for dinner, so he must have asked you for help. He didn't help me at all. I was so frustrated just because of all those little things, and now I'm divorced. It seems like you were the one who had trouble letting us get divorced, didn't you? I had no clue about that, so I can't help what happened. Come on now, Brooke, that's enough of this nonsense. Let's not argue over all these strange things that have occurred. Why don't we just forget about this and you can make up with Peter? Please, have a long and happy life with him. I don't think we're on the same page, Sandra. I'm not happy anymore, so I prefer being divorced from him. Besides, I don't like having you for a crazy mother-in-law. You were the one that made us get divorced without our permission, remember? I'll call the courthouse and get it removed. Everything will be just fine. Just get back with my son, please. Let me tell you, Sandra, I have no intention of fixing this. Even if you try to rip up the divorce papers, I will get a lawyer and a divorce will be finalized. You're going to go to that extreme? There's no need for you to do that. Thanks to you, Sandra, I finally realized that I wanted a divorce this whole time. I'm tired of dealing with scumbags and miserable old hags in my life. What? Who are you talking about? Oh, forget it. It doesn't matter anymore. Well, not to me anyways. And with that, I bid you farewell, Sandra. Good luck living with your downright poor son. You're gonna need it. Enjoy your lives together. In the end, it was Sandra who was the cause of Brooke and Peter getting a divorce. Peter resents his mother for finalizing his divorce from his wife. Despite being unemployed and having a bossy attitude, he lives at his mother's house. Because of Sandra, he was divorced. It seems like Peter told his mother to work since none of them had a job. Sandra had no choice but to earn a living so she could pay for her son. It seems that she will face the worst of old age since she has the added stress of working. It seems that for the time being, they can't see a bright future ahead of them.